we're doing today is looking at solving. So we're finishing up the rest of the review sheet today with solving. Now the main steps for solving are these here. First step, is there one radical? If so, get it by itself. If not, even them out. So we have an even number on both sides. Then we're going to put both sides to the nth power. If there's still radicals left, we're going to repeat steps 1 and 2 and then solve. So if we look at problem number 31, square root of 2y equals 8. Is there one radical? Yes, so we need to get it by itself, and actually for this one here, it is by itself. So we can move on to step 2, putting both sides to the nth power. And the nth power in this case is 2. Now the square root and square will cancel, giving us 2y equals, well, 8 squared is 64. So that takes care of steps 1 and 2. Are there any radicals left? No, so we just need to solve for the value of y. And to do that, we just need to divide both sides by 2, telling us y is equal to 32. Questions on these here? Now, if it did ask for us to check, because it will say in the instructions if we do need to check to make sure it's true, that is the correct answer, times 32 is equal to 8. Now, if we want to check it, we can type it into the calculator. We can say second square root 2 times 32. And it tells us that this here is 8. 8 is indeed equal to 8, so y equals 32 is the correct answer. Questions on number 31? Let's look at 32. Square root of y minus 4 plus 7 equals 15. Is there one radical? Yeah, so we need to get it by itself. So what can we do first? We can subtract 7 from both sides. So it's the square root of y minus 4 is equal to 8. Is the radical by itself now? Yes. So we can move on to step 2. We're going to put both sides to the nth power. And that nth power is going to be 2. Here the square root and square will cancel, telling us y minus 4 is equal to 64. Thank you. Are there any radicals left? No, so now we just need to solve by adding 4 to both sides, telling us y is equal to 68. Questions? And then we can check this. If it asks for us to check, it will say in the instructions to check it. So if we check this one, we say the square root of 68 minus 4 plus 7 is equal to, not 8, it is 15. Because when checking, you'll need to at least write this here and then simplify both sides. Well, the right-hand side is 15. The left-hand side, we can say second square root 68, what was it, minus 4 plus 7 is, lo and behold, 15. So we're able to say that 15 does equal 15, so y equals 68 is the correct answer. Questions on this so far? We can look at 33 next. Is there one radical? Yeah. So we need to get it by itself. What can we do first? We can subtract 27. Telling us 3 times the square root of 2x plus 7 is equal to negative 23. Is the radical by itself? No. We need to divide both sides by 3. And once we do that, we have that the square root of 2x plus 7 is equal to negative 23 over 3. Now is the radical by itself? Yes. So what can we do next? We're going to square both sides. And we square both sides. On the left-hand side, the square root and square will cancel, telling us 2x plus 7 is equal to negative 23 over 9 squared is 500, not 9, it was 3. I was about to say 3. 529 over 9. Now at this point here, there are no more radicals left, so we just need to solve for x. Now since x is to the first power, we just need to get it by itself. We can subtract 7 from both sides, giving us 466 over 9. And lastly, we would divide by 2, telling us x is 233 over 9. Questions on how we got x equals 233 over 9? Now, if we check this one here, we have 3 times the square root of 2 times 233 over 9 plus 7 plus 27 is equal to 4. So 3 times the square root of 2 times 233 over 9 plus 7 plus 27 is 50. 50 is not equal to 4. So we know that x cannot be 233 over 9. Are there any other solutions? No, so this here is no solution. We also said an even radical cannot equal what? Negative number, yes? We have a square root equals a negative. It doesn't work. Odd roots is fine, but let's look at 34. The cubed root of 2x minus 1 equals 2. We have one radical, it's by itself, so we're going to put both sides to the nth power, and that power is 3. These will cancel, telling us 2x minus 1 is equal to 8. Solve for x. And that's it. And we can plug it in and check it, and it will work that 9/2 is the correct value for this here. Questions on any of this so far? Yes. Questions on 35 or 36? Or either one of those that y'all want to look at. We feel comfortable at 35 and 36? Okay. Let's look at 37. Square root of 3 minus x equals x minus 1. Is there one radical? Is it by itself? Yes. So we can move on to step 2. We're putting both sides to the nth power. In our case, that power is 2. Now the left-hand side, the square root and square would cancel. So I guess that 3 minus x is equal to x minus 1 times x minus 1. Because we have that subtraction between our two terms, we have to multiply it all the way out. So the first thing we're going to do is x times x. X squared. X times negative 1 is going to be negative x. Negative 1 times x. Negative x. And lastly, negative 1 times negative 1 gives us positive 1, yes. Now before we start moving anything, we'll go on and combine like terms. Our negative x minus x is going to give us negative 2x. Now we need to get this equation equal to 0. Well, we can add x first, telling us that 3 is equal to x squared minus x plus 1. Then what can we do next? Minus 3, telling us 0 is equal to x squared minus x minus 2. Now at this point here, we can graph or factor this. Either one works. Since the third term is negative, our signs are opposite. Our factors of x squared, the only ones we have are x and x. Also, the only factors that we have for 2 are 1 and 2. Where do we want to put those? Well, 1 positive, 2 negative. And if I check the middle term, x times negative 2 would be negative 2x. Positive 1 times x is positive x. Negative 2x plus x does indeed give me negative x. Correct factors. Now at this point here, we have two things multiplied together to equal 0. So one of these is going to have to be 0. And when we solve for both of these here, we get two answers. One tells me that x is 2. The other tells me that x is negative 1. Now this here is definitely going to be one of the problems that we would need to check our answers. So the first one we can check is negative 1. So we'd have the square root of 3 minus negative 1 is equal to negative 1 minus 1. Now the left-hand side, 3 minus negative 1 is going to be the same as 3 plus 1, giving us 4. Square root of 4 is 2. On the other side, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Well, negative 2 is not equal to 2. So we throw out our x equals negative 1 because it is one of our extraneous solutions. We could do the same thing with 2. Three minus 2 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 does equal 1. So x equals 2 is our solution. And again, with checking, I need at least the starting and that they are either both equal and the final result. I need the step where you're plugging it in and the simplified sides. If you write it out and do all the step-by-steps, that's fine, but I am looking to see something showing me that you did check. Questions on 37? Questions on 38? Do you feel good about problem 38? Okay. Questions on 39? There will not be a problem like 40. No, I changed the bonus. Bonus is just going to be another normal problem. We feel good with 39. Okay. If we feel good with this here,